Greetings and welcome to YourInspirations.com. I'm Mary Beth Temple for Hooked for Life, and in this video we're going to take a look at how to embroider the bullion stitch. Bullion gives you sort of a corded look. It's an embroidery stitch. We use it on a ton of patterns, most recently the Sweet Knit Donut toy, in which we used it to embroider sprinkles on our knitted donut, but there's a bunch of different applications for this stitch, so let's take a look at how it works. Come up wherever it is that you want your stitch to start. See, I'm a little tangled here. There we go. All right, we're all the way up. Go down where you want your stitch to end. Now, whether you're working on knitting or crochet, it's an embroidery stitch, so you don't have to count rows. Just wherever you think is a nice length for the application that you're using. I'm going to go here and I'm going to pull it down, but I'm going to leave a loop about that long. What is that? About 2 inches, maybe 5 centimeters long. Now I'm going to bring my needle up from the bottom in the same space that I brought it up the last time, but I'm not bringing it all the way up. I'm just putting the bulk of the needle through. Now, I'm going to wrap the yarn around the needle the number of times I need to fill the space between the beginning of the stitch and the end of the stitch. I can't give you a specific number. It's going to be whatever looks nicest in the project that you're working on. Now, I have read some resources that say you must always wrap clockwise. I have seen some resources that say you must always wrap counterclockwise. Honestly, it's whichever way makes the yarn not untwist and look terrible. So I've discovered with the Simply Soft, I like to wrap them this way. So I'm going to wrap around the needle 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I only know it's 10 because I've made one already. 9, 10. So now this is where it gets a little fiddly. I want to pull the needle up through all these coils, but I'm going to use my hand to keep the coils packed together. I don't want the whole thing to unravel because that is annoying. And then honestly, at that point, it's a matter of just very gently pulling the yarn through and kind of fiddling with it until it lays flat. So I'm going to use my thumb to hold those coils into place, and I'm going to pull that needle through, all the way through. You can see it coming out, right? I'm going to pull up all the excess yarn, and then I also need to pull up enough yarn that that big loop that I wrapped with, this guy, we need that to go away. So I'm going to keep my thumb there as long as I possibly can. Do you see how that loop is going under? Because I want it to disappear as much as possible. There we go. Look at that. There's my wraps. I had a few too many on there. I could have done with a few less, but we're going to do it one more time. To finish the stitch off, I'm going to bring it down in the same space where I want to stitch my stitch to end. So I probably could have done a few fewer wraps there. Let's try it again. Up where you want your stitch to start. Bring the yarn all the way up. Down where you want your stitch to end, but leave yourself a 2 inches loop at least on the top. Bring the needle part way into the fabric from the back to the front, and I'm going to wrap the other way just to see if that looks better. So we're going to wrap. Yeah, I think I actually like that a little better. It's a little tighter of a twist. So I'm going to wrap. So for me to check, all I have to do is hold that needle down. Is that enough wraps to get me where I want to go? I'm thinking it needs 2 more. You see that little gap right by my thumbnail? So I'm going to put 2 more wraps on there. 1, 2. Now, holding it just like this, I can see that's going to get me as far as I need. So it may not even be the same number of wraps every time. It is an art, not a science. So at this point, I want to bring my needle through, but I don't want this to unwind and make a big mess. So I'm going to use my thumb to hold all those coils together. I'm going to pull the needle through all of the coils. You might need to fiddle a little bit. And I'm going to pull that yarn all the way through. And when I get that all the way through, I'm going to keep pulling until the excess on that loop goes away. And I'm going to be very gentle with it. You see that loop's going away, going away, going away, going away, gone. See, I think I like that better than the last one. So now it is covering everything I need it to cover. I'm going to go back down in the stitch where I went down the last time to mark the end of the stitch. When I'm done making all my bullion stitches, all I need to do is weave in the end like I normally would to finish off. So that's how you do the bullion stitch. Thanks for joining us here on yarnspirations.com. Come back every week for fresh new material, and please subscribe. I'm Mary Beth Temple for Hooked for Life. Bye-bye.